SmackDown was in Columbus, Ohio tonight, and the show took place on the campus of Ohio State University. And we start the show off with Michael Cole in the ring and Kofi Kingston's out with this title belt. And it's weird. Cole is not necessarily talking about Kevin Owens right away. What they're talking about is still WrestleMania. And they keep mentioning that, especially with Becky and Kofi and Seth. They keep mentioning WrestleMania. WrestleMania is 3 weeks ago now. No one's even thinking about WrestleMania anymore. It's not the kind of WrestleMania where people are still talking about it weeks after, which has happened in the past. This is the kind of WrestleMania where, all right, it's over, 3 weeks have passed. No one cares anymore. We're on to the next show. But they showed the match, the ending of the match with Daniel Bryan. And when Kofi wins, it's a great moment. And then Michael Cole brings up what happened last week, and it's going to be Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. I think this should be a longer-term program. I don't think Kevin Owens is going to win the belt right away, but I think this should be dragged out. I wouldn't mind if Kevin Owens won because Kofi's reign to me is already... I mean, the bloom's already off the rose with me. Kofi. To me, Kofi was never going to be a champion that was going to be dominant. To me, he was always just going to have this really great WrestleMania moment. I think now it's become more about the moment than the actual title reign. And I think that's obviously with Becky Lynch and Kofi Kingston. I think they got their big moments. I think people are ready to move on now. Right, you got your moment, now it's on to the next guy. Seth, I think, has still kept that momentum. But the other two, it's like once they got their big moment, they've peaked. It's like, what else are you going to do now? Maybe it's time to build someone else up. Anyway, Kevin Owens is out. He had Xavier come out, and they're building up what happened last week. And I think now later in the show, they're going to have Kevin Owens do his KO talk show, and Xavier Woods is going to be his guest. And then when we come back, we see Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods backstage. So Bayley comes out, and she's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. She's the first member of SmackDown to be on it. And her opponent is the man, Becky Lynch. Becky comes out to a sort of a lukewarm reaction. It's I hate to say it, but they've killed her. I think it was the Lacey Evans. I ran into that very heavily in my last Raw review. You can watch that. But they've really dragged her down. The match they had wasn't as good as Bayley and Charlotte as last week. It was a good match. Bayley got some offense in, and you can immediately tell Becky's going to win. But it was still a good matchup. I enjoyed it. I think Bayley's starting to get over again. I think she's starting to gain some momentum as a singles star, even though she's lost. She lost 3 weeks in a row. She lost to Alexa 3 weeks ago. Then last week, then she gets drafted to SmackDown. She gets booed. Then she loses to Charlotte last week. And now this week she loses to Becky. It's like she's gaining momentum. As Corey Graves is saying, she loses every match. Anyway, Becky won with the disarmer. I thought it was a pretty good match. I wish they'd have something for Bayley, but after the match, the focus was back on Charlotte. She beats up Becky, and then she beats up Bayley, so she leaves Bayley and Becky laying. Charlotte stands tall. Aleister Black cuts a promo. It's fade to black. Hardy Boys are out, and this is unfortunate. Jeff Hardy's on a crutch. Kayla Braxton is in the ring interviewing them, and they regret to inform everyone that they have to relinquish the tag team titles because of Jeff's injury. So the tag team titles are now vacant, the SmackDown tag titles. That it's an emotional speech by the Hardys, and then Lars Sullivan comes out. And I was thinking to myself, I know Jeff's not going to get hit. They kept teasing that he was going to hit Jeff, but I knew they couldn't hit Jeff, mainly because they don't let injured wrestlers have any contact whatsoever. That's how they do it now. They refuse to allow injured wrestlers to even get physical at all. So Sullivan destroys Hardy, and he stalks Jeff. Jeff is trying to run away. Matt makes a save. He beats up Matt again. And then R-Truth out of nowhere comes out, hits Lars with the chair. Jeff gets out of the ring, and Lars Sullivan destroys R-Truth. I'm behind Lars Sullivan. I like him. I think it's starting to work. I'm on the Lars Sullivan bandwagon. I don't like how some certain wrestling websites tried to bring him down a few months ago. I'm supporting the guy, and I hope he does well, and I hope he gets over. So I support Lars Sullivan. Now we have the announcement of the 4 SmackDown men's participants in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Here are your 4. Joining Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and Ricochet from Raw. Representing SmackDown, first is Mustafa Ali. Then you have Finn Balor. Then you have Andrade, who is one of the favorites to win. I think the two biggest Favorites in this match are Andrade and Drew, who has the best chance to win. And the final SmackDown member is Randy Orton. So that's your match. The Iconics are on commentary, which is going to make this insufferable. You have Asuka and Kairi Sane come out, and I'm thinking to myself, Paige should not be here. Paige is dragging them down. Why is Paige with them? Why? Paige is awful. She looks awful. I have to say, she looks like shit with them, beside them, because she's so much taller than them. It hurts Asuka and Kairi. Get Paige away from them. And as soon as she comes out, it's like she takes away their thunder. She should just stand in the background like Paul Heyman does when Brock Lesnar comes out. Stand in the background for the Iconics. For Asuka and Kairi. And why is she doing the Hulk Hogan thing? Like, I want to hear the pop from my ear, like as if you're a star, as if you mean anything anymore. She does the Hulk Hogan, the hand before the ear pose. Like, what the hell is Paige even doing? Why is she here? She has no business being with these two. Anyway, I think she's dragging them down. They don't need her. They're fine without her. Asuka and Kairi killed two chicks. Some was a black chick and a white chick with red hair. Or orange hair. That's all I remember. Two local jobbers. Then you have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville in the back, and this is where Mandy Rose says that Shane McMahon has said that one of the two of them are going to get a spot in the Money in the Bank, but it can only be one, and she is originally going to give it to Sonya Deville, but then Sonya changes her mind and gives her spot to Mandy Rose. So Mandy Rose is officially in the Women's Money in the Bank, so you have Bayley and Mandy confirmed from SmackDown. So is Mandy going to win? She's one of the favorites for sure. The way this was set up, it makes me think Sonya might turn on Mandy. I think that's a good possibility. But I might pick Mandy Rose to win this match. She's probably going to win. I don't see anyone else. No one from Raw. I hope it's not Dana Brooke. I don't see Natalya. I don't see Naomi. I don't see Alexa. She won it last year. By the way, I'm sure Alexa would have loved to have been on the show. Her boyfriend's on SmackDown, Buddy Murphy, and this was in her hometown tonight, so poor Alexa. Anyway, she's not going to win. I think Mandy's going to win. I don't see it giving them to Bayley. I don't think they'll do it. Ember probably gets in. I don't think she'll win because she's a babyface, so who's going to be the last one? Carmella? I think Mandy Rose is probably the odds-on here, but no guarantee. However, they hug here. They're together, they're friends. They compare themselves to Beyonce and J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, I don't know about that. Roman Reigns comes out. He gets a mixed reaction. There's it's mostly cheers, but you can hear a couple guys booing really loud, which is kind of awkward. It's like, why do you really have to boo Roman Reigns? The guy fucking had leukemia, for fuck's sakes. Don't boo this guy. This guy had leukemia. I'm thinking to myself, he's down on the title picture. He's going to face Shane McMahon. He's facing no one you really care about as a heel. You really have to boo him. Anyway, he's cutting a promo when Shane interrupts. He does the stuff with Greg Hamilton. It's quick this time. And Shane's pissed off because Roman attacked Vince. And they're building up to Shane and Roman. And I think Miz is going to get sacrificed because I think Shane's probably going to beat the Miz at Money in the Bank in a cage because they're clearly building up to Roman Reigns and Shane McMahon. You can't have someone lose to The Miz and then face Roman Reigns. So it makes no sense to lose someone who's not tough like The Miz, then go and face the biggest star in the company, Roman Reigns, at the next pay-per-view. So I think Shane's going to probably beat The Miz again. So no, not good news if you're a Miz fan. Shane brings out the B team. These guys should be released, but it's who their fathers are. They're not released. And you have Elias as a special referee. It's a handicap match. Match goes on for a while. Roman wins. He gets a mixed reaction again, but I don't care about this feud at all. The B team, why are these guys not released? They need to be released. Finn Balor comes out and Mustafa Ali, or he's backstage with Mustafa Ali. They're going to be in a tag match against Orton and Almas. They show another Firefly Funhouse promo. This sucks now. It's boring. Nothing happens. It should just be once a week. Twice a week's overkill. It's boring. Nothing happened this episode. It was more entertaining last week. Bloom's starting to come off with the Rhodes. I was one of the few guys who supported it. A lot of people just hated it right away. I was kind of supporting it. It still might turn out good, but yeah, they need to update it more. I think only once a week's fine. Just do it 1 week Raw, next week SmackDown, because you don't know which Brandon Bray's going to come on. But I think twice a week's just too overkill for me. So main event, tag match, Orton and Almas against Ali and Balor. This was the faces come out first, and then you have Zelina Vega come out with Almas, and she cuts a good promo. She can talk as long as she wants, as long as she looks like that. My goodness, she's a beautiful one. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Match happens. It goes on for a while. Good, decent main event. It's a fun match. You had Balor hit the sling blade, and then Almas hits the 450 splash onto Ali. Oh my God, Ali hits his 450 splash onto Andrade for the win. After the match, Orton hits an RKO, leaves them both laying, and then you had Balor. He hits an RKO to Balor, and Ali hits Orton with a kick. So Ali is the one who's left standing. Now they announced the final 2 months of the Women's Money in the Bank. You have Ember Moon, who will be in there. Ember Moon is your 7th participant, and then your last participant announced is Carmella. So I got that right. That's what I predicted. I thought it'd probably go those ways: Bayley, Mandy, Ember, and Carmella. They show stuff from Xavier Woods and Kofi earlier from last week. And now the main event segment on the show is the KO talk show with Xavier Woods. It's just Kevin Owens messing around. He's an action figure of Xavier Woods on the chair. It goes on for a while. It's a pretty boring promo. I've seen this so many times. And I like heel KO, but I was kind of enjoying babyface Kevin Owens. However, I understand for the greater good, they had to get a good opponent for Kofi right away, an opponent he can probably beat, and I think Kevin Owens fit that mold. So it is what it is. However, I was really enjoying seeing Kevin Owens as a baby because I was enjoying his work as a face. I think he could be a likable face. However, just things didn't turn out and he had to be a heel again. Kofi comes out, beats him up. Kofi gets his revenge from last week, leaves Kevin Owens retreating to the crowd. Kofi Kingston stands tall as the WWE champion, and that is how SmackDown went off the air. All I hope is the ratings are better than Raw was last night.